Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today, as you see in the title, I'm going to be talking about my fitness journey. If you guys are new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button down there. I would greatly appreciate it. And let's just hop right into the video. So I do have my laptop here because I wrote quite a bit of notes on this subject because I wanted to make sure that I had everything in there, and I wanted to make sure that I kind of told the whole backstory to kind of for you guys to understand where I am now. Growing up, I was pretty athletic. I played a lot of sports as a kid, but soccer was definitely like my number one. To this day, I still love soccer. I'm actually gonna play intramural soccer this year. I'm super excited with my friend Abby. I haven't played soccer since sophomore year of high school, so it's been a while. I am now a junior in college, by the way. Soccer for my first 2 years of high school, and then I played golf all 4 years of high school. I've always been on like the thinner side. I was never like overweight, or I never struggled with my weight or anything like that. I was never like below weight or anything. I was kind of like just right at like the average for my height and stuff like that. My metabolism was like super high, so I could like eat whatever I wanted. I never had to be on like a strict like diet. Never like put on weight very easily. I pretty much stayed pretty thin throughout high school, and even growing up in like middle school and stuff as well. So in middle school, I still played soccer, so I was working out frequently, not like lifting or anything, but I was still doing a lot of cardio. So my body was like very toned and very like strong in that sense. I had muscle on me, but it wasn't like muscle like anything like significant, but I was pretty like athletically built, so my legs are very strong, definitely my strong point. Endurance was like amazing. I wish I still had that in me, but I hate running now. I really dislike running for long distances. I like sprinting, but I need to get like my endurance back up because it's like really bad. Like I can't even like run a mile anymore when I could like easily do that back in high school. So in middle school, my anxiety actually developed. That's when I had my first like panic attack, anxiety attack, whatever you want to call it. I remember exactly what happened. I was sitting taking my math final, and my mind was just going so fast, but my hand couldn't keep up when I was trying to do the work, and I just like felt like so like flustered, and like I was like sweating, my heart was racing and all that kind of stuff. So that's when that first happened for me. Unfortunately, anxiety still does affect me today, and it affected me a lot through high school as well, so I'll talk about that a little bit later. After I kind of had a couple of like episodes or little anxiety attacks, and I noticed like I was just feeling very anxious, very like on edge, I told my parents, and then I went to see a therapist, and it was literally like the best thing I ever did. 100% recommend if you have anxiety, or if you just need to vent and like just like tell someone what's going on in your life, definitely like see a therapist. If you can't afford it, there are plenty of online resources. I just wasn't self-conscious of my body at this point, or at least enough for me to like remember specifically being like worried about my body. But because I was kind of always like running and always like being active, I was never like worried about my body. Also in middle school, I had really bad stomach issues as well. I had a dairy problem, which I still do today, and I also still have stomach issues, unfortunately, today as well. So basically, I just stopped drinking milk because that was like the main cause of my problem. So moving into high school, I played soccer, I said freshman and sophomore year, and golf all 4 years. So after I stopped playing soccer, I noticed my body definitely lost the muscle that was on my body. Even though it wasn't a lot of muscle, it was still like a decent amount. Like I noticed like even if I wasn't working out as much, I was still eating the same. I wouldn't put on weight, but I was still like active. I still was like working out and still like playing golf, which is a lot of walking. So I guess I kind of got like my workout there, but it wasn't as intense and stuff as soccer, because soccer you're running a lot, you're burning a lot of calories. Sophomore year of high school, I actually got my first job. I worked at a gym. It was a local gym. It wasn't like a Gold's Gym or anything like that. It was more of like a boutique kind of specialized gym. It was like personal training and classes only. I worked there from my sophomore year of high school to my senior year of high school, and that's kind of where like my fitness side came out. I learned a lot about like business and personal training and people skills and confidence and like all that kind of stuff, and that's kind of why I think I'm like really independent and very like business oriented and also very like people oriented. Noticed that was much more mature than the kids in my grade, and I felt like I should have been like graduated by now and like things like that. Like I felt kind of like out of the loop in a way, because I was like much more independent and much more like kind of on my own, because I had been working since I was like, what, 15, 16 years old. So I had that kind of other aspect of my life. Basically, like working there, I learned a lot that like you have to work really hard for what you want. Basically just put everything you have into what you want. Hard work like really does pay off, and that you shouldn't just like give up so easily. I learned that the hard way, because you know, when you're young, like you're maybe not as motivated or maybe not as passionate about certain things, but it's really like a good time, especially when you're young, to get like as much experience as you can, and that'll really help you in the future. As I was working at the gym, I started personal training. I started training with a personal trainer, I should say, and taking different classes, and that really was like natural to me, because I was like that athletic. I had that like athletic background, so it was like really like natural to me. I've always been like pretty critical of myself, so towards the end of high school, because I wasn't playing soccer, I was still like training and stuff, but it wasn't like kind of like my ideal, I guess, body. I wasn't at that point yet, and I was definitely very critical of myself. Not that that's bad. I mean, most of the times you are your biggest critic, and you are the one holding you back from things that you want or goals that you want to achieve. That's like kind of when I noticed that I had that like kind of mindset change, where I was like looking at my body in a more critical way than I normally had. You know, I was still suffering from anxiety and from those stomach pains. Like my life was just like I kind of was just like in dreamland. Like I was kind of just like walking around doing things that I wasn't necessarily like paying attention to. That's like definitely like a little like scary to like look back and like think about, like that I was kind of just like walking through life like not really paying attention, and not really maybe doing things to my fullest potential, and maybe not like doing things because of my anxiety, or doing things because of my stomach pains, or doing things because I was self-conscious and things like that. I know I definitely like struggled a lot in high school with my anxiety, and just think it was just like not a fun time. Sadly, I got like used to my anxiety and used to my stomach pain, and all of a sudden it was like time to go to college. Like super weird, like it just flies by so fast. Moved pretty far away from home. I moved about 10 hours. It's like a 10-hour drive. Well, it's like 8.5, but like with stops and stuff, it's 10. But I moved over 500 miles away from home. I wasn't necessarily nervous or anxious about that. I was more nervous about like the social aspect. I was like really nervous about like making friends. I was like, oh my gosh, what if I make no friends? Everybody's in the same boat freshman year. Everyone's like little like babies, like don't know what we're doing. A lot of people worry about the freshman 15. And I wasn't necessarily nervous about that, because like I said, I never really put on weight. I just lost like my muscle definition. Like again, I did notice all that hard work I had put in high school, leading up to going to school. I had lost more muscle mass, more muscle definition. That was because I wasn't working out as much, and I obviously wasn't eating, like I wasn't eating awful, but I wasn't eating like healthy, and like, you know, I wasn't getting all my protein in. I probably wasn't getting fruits and vegetables. My anxiety, second semester freshman year, my anxiety came back like full force. Got like really sick. I got this like really bad like bacterial infection, like because I was sick, and then I like didn't get better before I got sick again. So like I had to go on antibiotics for the first time in my life, and I was just like feeling so crappy and so like just so awful and sick. I remember like I literally called my mom crying. I was like, I'm coming home, I need to come home, like I can't do this right now, like I'm so stressed out and I'm so sick. And my mom was like, Grace, like you're crazy, like you can't come home, like you can't drive home like this. And I was like, no, like you don't understand, like I need to come home, I need to come home. That was the first time at all I really ever felt like homesick. I'm not really one to feel like super homesick. I have like moments here and there, but nothing like a lot of freshmen do feel homesick, which is like totally normal, but I wasn't that way because I was so like ready to get out of my hometown and so ready to like go on this fun adventure. But freshman year, that end of the year, I definitely was like ready to go home. I just was so anxious and my stomach problems were bad and I just felt like I couldn't do anything. So that summer after freshman year, I began personal training again, and I kind of got back into the swing of things. I made kind of like a decision that I wanted to really keep this up. I really wanted to work out more. And sophomore year, I did do that. I did work out a lot more than I had freshman year, but it wasn't as consistent as I wanted it to be. Sophomore year, my stomach issues were like an all-time high. Like I legit was dying. My stomach was so bad. So I finally went and saw a gastroenterologist when I was at home. Basically, he put me on a probiotic and a fiber supplement because I have IBS, which is basically like your stomach is just very like sensitive basically, and like your bathroom schedule is all like off. The probiotic 100% would recommend if you have stomach problems. I don't have any more problems because I take the probiotic and the fiber supplement. It definitely helped me. It definitely made my anxiety kind of like relax about it, because I would be so nervous, like, oh my gosh, like what if I have to go to the bathroom and I'm like at this party and like I can't go to the bathroom, like things like that I would get so nervous about. And now I don't really have to. I mean, I still like worry about it because I'm like, you know, I have to go to the bathroom, but like it's not like as big of a worry as it was. Also during my sophomore year, my anxiety was still like relatively bad. I did see a therapist last year, and that really helped a lot. I mean, it didn't solve all my problems, but it helped me kind of like work through why I was getting anxious and why like certain things caused my anxiety. At the end of my sophomore year, I decided that summer, this past summer, that I was going to make a lot of changes for the better, basically in my like fitness, in my like journey. I got a job this summer working at a boutique that sold athletic apparel, and that kind of took me into a different side of the fitness industry that I had never experienced before, and I'm really grateful for that. It was a lot of people skills that I really worked on, and my confidence was up because I was talking to like random people that I had to have like a real conversation with. I got my first like real gym membership. I paid for it all by myself, but it was like my first like real gym membership because I had worked at that gym, so I worked out there. I didn't really have like, I did have like a membership, but like not in the same way, I guess. I don't know. I was going there a lot frequently, and I would really plan my workouts, and I would really make sure that I was doing things correctly and mixing it up and making sure that everything was changing, but also making sure to track my changes and things like that. And that kind of leads us to where I am right now. I am working out, not like super frequently, not as much as I wanted to, but I'm still kind of in that like beginning phase where I'm like stressed with a lot of work, and I'm just feeling like pretty anxious and stuff like that. Unfortunately, my anxiety came back really strong this past couple weeks, and that was really awful. I would wake up and feel like so anxious that I felt like I was going to throw up, and I lost my appetite, which has never happened to me before, so I was like really nervous. So I actually saw another doctor, so that's all settled. I'm feeling a lot better. It's just really not fun to deal with when, you know, all summer you're like totally fine, and then you come back to school and you're like so anxious about like the most random stuff ever. Basically, the doctor told me I have generalized anxiety disorder, which is basically you're nervous and anxious about like everyday things. Yeah, so looking at the future, because this is really just the beginning. This is just like, I'm just kind of putting my foot into the water. I am looking to get my NASM certification. I am currently studying the textbook. I haven't been doing it a lot just because I'm, you know, obviously preoccupied with my degree now. So, you know, in the future, I do hope to continue studying the NASM textbook. It's basically just getting my CPT certification, which is Certified Personal Trainer. And obviously, I am looking forward to graduating. I have 4 semesters left. I am a business entrepreneurship and HR double major, so I have to take overload credits all for the rest of the semesters I'm here, which is not super exciting, but I want to make sure that I graduate on time, so that's okay. So basically, my kind of fitness goals is I want to put on more muscle, but I'm looking just to eat also better, eat cleaner, eat healthier, but also like have like a happy lifestyle. I don't want to be constricted to like only eating meals that I make at home and things like that. I still want to go out with my friends and eat. I just want to be happy with my body and happy with the way that I feel, and I'm really excited about the future. So if you guys want to follow me on my fitness journey, please hit that subscribe button and follow me on all my social media. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and let me know what you guys think. And if you guys want to share your fitness journey with me, I would love to hear it. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.